dad? Might be. And I'm like, well, was he in the Navy for 35 years? And then the look, like, oh, my God, maybe this really is my father. And I just did a reading at a fire station, and one guy said at the end of the session, I was an atheist. I don't even believe in God. You just turned my whole world upside down. And that's what keeps me going.
Can you do this at will, Maureen, or do you really have to get into a state of mind?
No, I mean, because I'm always on the go with my Cancer Foundation and my other charity work, I have to tune in pretty quickly. So, yeah, I can do it without having to, prepare for an hour.
And tell me about some of this charity work, which somehow ties into some of the things you've been working on. Seeds of Hope, right? And Mission for the Missing? Yeah, Seeds of Hope is my Cancer Foundation with a friend of mine, Sandy Alemian, and basically I help people pass. I have sort of a spiritual hospice. I also do the hands-on healing, and I pray over people. I have a strong faith-based. And I've been in the room when people actually cross over, and it is the most incredible experience. And I help the families because many of us have been there, and you don't know what to do for this person who is in a lot of pain, and how do we help them? And so I teach everyone, okay, help rub their feet, talk to them. They can hear you even though it seems like they can't, and tell them it's okay to let go. And I sort of guide them through the process. And it's especially hard with children because I work a lot with sick children. That is the heaviest work. So that's where my serious side comes in. And then Mission for the Missing, when it's on the news that somebody went missing, we jump into action and provide free support with, Good for you.
Posters and flyers and getting it out there and getting them on the news and providing equipment and sniffing dogs. And then I tune in or I go to the spot and I actually can feel, I sort of, maybe their spirit will take over, or I'm almost like a scent dog. I can follow the path. And with police, I've actually gone along and said, okay, the feeling stops here. And not too long ago, there was a kid who went missing in Boston at the waterfront, and I walked his path. I could feel it.
What
happened? Stopped. And I said, he fell in the water right here. And they said, that's where our cadaver dogs went to, right where you're standing.
And they stopped, yeah.
And they stopped right there.
Oh.
It's wild.
That's sad.
It is.
Do you ever see if a child's been murdered? Do you witness that in your mind?
Yes, I do. I actually will look at a photo, and I can tell by their eyes, and it's almost like they talk to me, and they'll say, no, I'm gone. I'm in spirit. A young girl recently disappeared from New Hampshire here just a few days ago, and I looked at her picture, and she said, I'm gone. Two young, 20-somethings murdered me, and she showed me the scene and them sort of her bringing her down to the water. So sometimes, I'll actually relive it for them, and it's so heavy, and it drains me, and it takes so much energy to do that kind of work. But if I can help, then I know that I've been given this ability, which I think we all have, but mine is more fine-tuned because I choose that. So I have to help.
What percent do you think of missing children stories, cases get solved through, either your efforts or just the efforts of police?
Well, I'm not really sure of the percentage, but I do know that a lot of law enforcement are using mediums and psychics, even if they don't advertise it. Like I do things behind the scenes, and I've definitely helped, and my goal is to bring them home before something horrible happens and tragic. And with the help of my detective friend, we've brought home 5 living children and adults in the last 6 months. So I'm not really sure nationwide what the percentage is, and I'm not really sure if they even throw it out there like, hey, a psychic just helped on this case. But I hope, as my name gets out there more, maybe the percentage will go up and bring some more families closure.
Well, maybe so. Maybe so.
Yeah.
The book is called The Medium Next Door, Adventures of a Real-Life Ghost Whisperer. And you're doing some reality television now, aren't you?
I am. I've gone back and forth with networks over the last several years, and I've been offered different things that, frankly, some of them were pretty hokey, and it felt good to say no. Like, hey, we want you to fly out next week for this pilot. And I would just get a gut feeling that it would be bad or sensationalize my abilities. So I would say, no, I pass. And then I get a call from, get this, Disney. So I thought it was a joke, and they're like, hey, it's Disney. And I'm like, who is this? Who is this really? And I signed with ABC and Disney about a year and a half ago. And so we shot some different presentation reels, and then the executive producers for The Ghost Whisperer came on board last June, and they said, and it even says on the back of my book, after spending 5 years producing Ghost Whisperer, they're learning so much from me, and then we just sold the show last October to the Style Network. So, ABC and Ghost Whisperer are the producers, and then we just shot the pilot about a month ago. It was lots of fun. They definitely give me some creative control, so if I don't feel comfortable with something, they respect that. Like, that's not really me.
Good for you. Maureen, stick around. We're going to answer some phone calls with you when we come right back, and you can tell us where you can get The Medium Next Door. Back in a moment on Coast to Coast AM. And Maureen, before we go to calls, give me your impression of what is on the other side.
What is on the other side? Well, what I've been shown, and I guess I won't fully know till I get there, is it's a lot like here. So I'll be shown scenes of rolling green hills, and you're greeted by your relatives who have gone home before you. And when someone passes, it's like everyone's gathered around, and it's almost like they have a unique family reunion, but I'm shown like homes and mountains and oceans, and so and when somebody passes in my presence, this is usually what they do. Like, there's my husband William in the corner, and then they go, this place is beautiful, and then they go, and so it just has to be just euphoric and beautiful and peaceful. And the release of their pain,
Does it comfort people to know that?
I think so, especially when a family's around and I say, who's Jack? Oh, that's our dad. He passed 2 years ago. Well, he's standing right here, and he's going to take her hand, and your mom's not going to be afraid. And it's just so amazing. Or if a child passes and I can tell them who's going to be there for them. I mean, you hope, and I hope, they're all going to be there for me when it's my time, and we'll all be together again one day. Even if someone has to go first and sort of walk that path, we'll all follow.
Let's take some calls here with you. Let's pick it up by going to Temecula, California. Vince is with us on the wild card line. Hi, Vince. Go ahead. You're on with Maureen Hancock.
Hi, George. Hi, Maureen. Thanks for taking my call. I'm still kind of in a state of mourning. I won't take too much time, but my father passed 2 weeks ago, and I've been wanting so bad to feel something or to hear something, and none of that has taken place. And I just wanted to ask you, is there like a transition time for a spirit who has just passed before they decide to come back and maybe let everyone know they're okay?
There definitely is. And, some mediums will say 3 to 6 months, and I think that at least a month they need to transition to their new spirit body. So when we release this heavier shell, let's say, it does take a little bit of time. And let me tell you that when you want it so bad, which we all do, you're almost putting extra heavy energy on it. And so when you least expect it, that's when you start to get signs, and you're asking him to come in a dream. And I think just when things quiet down a little bit, you'll be more aware. So watch for the subtle signs. It might not be the big ones that you're asking for. Could be a song on the radio, or, you know, you find a coin or something that reminds you of him. A truck goes by and it has his initials on it, things like that.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, Vince, hope that helps you. You do comfort a lot of people. Let's go to Paulie in Texas City, Texas. Hey, Paulie, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much. Maureen, it is an honor to speak with you.
Thank you.
I just wanted to ask, since we had the commercial break, just two things. First, did anything come to you while we had commercial break about bin Laden?
You know, it's such a strange thing, because normally if something big like this goes on, I can feel it for a few days before, and I haven't felt anything. So, you know, I think I'm a little suspicious, like a lot of folks. And
so we have another Ken Lay with a toe tag, and nobody can verify it.
Well, and now it's apparently buried at sea.
Mm-hmm. And the other point,
Convenient.
Maureen, my husband had passed away about 6 years ago, and apparently, when I did visit him in a dream, he was at a facility. It seemed like it was glass and steel, like he was up in some sort of a star system. He used to joke around saying that he was dedicating the center star to the belt of Orion, you know, and joking around saying that he felt like he was from, you know, Orion or something. Mm-hmm. And is there any symbolism that you could share with me? And also, you know, I think that there are a lot of people that have intuitiveness that are kind of nervous that they think there's something wrong with them, you know, with themselves. And, you know, could you help people know that they can tune in and that they're not, you know, half crazy? And I'll hang up.
I mean, definitely. Yeah, in my my new book, The Medium Next Door, I have a lot of exercises and information for people to learn how to use that intuition that we all have, and to teach people not to be afraid of it, but also, you know, different stories of when I went through it and I was afraid. So, you know, that's a good point to bring up. We all have intuition, right? And then the other thing with the symbolism, I mean, if your husband joked about like Orion and the different, he probably came to you in a way that you would be familiar with, or you would try to figure that out, like, wow, you know, maybe this is how he talked, this is some of the things he joked about, and he has a great sense of humor. So